Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by the Family Forest Carbon Program, where we help family forest owners get paid to improve the health of their woods. We'll start with Dale. He has an update from Ohio Corn and Wheat.
Joining me is Gary Puckett, Director of Communication and Industry Engagement for Ohio Corn and Wheat. Gary, thanks for taking time to visit with us. We're probably on the front end of what people call summer driving season. As we look to all of that, how important will be pushing the blue handle in the minds of those motorists?
Dale, thanks for having me. And the answer is it's going to be a huge effort to push unleaded 88 this summer driving season. It's really one of the first times ever we have actually had a concentrated, purposeful, strategic push for unleaded 88 across the state of Ohio directly to consumers. You know, summer driving season is all about adventure, and summer adventure actually starts by grabbing the blue handle when you go to the gas pump. We here at Ohio Corn and Wheat have said it's time to set the record straight on unleaded 88. Consumers can experience the benefits for themselves, and then they'll never want to go back to the other fuel blends.
My wife is an example of that. Never had to tell her about it again, and ever since then, she's got the map in her phone and knows what her options are coming up the road.
And when you talk to people about it, hey, not only can you save money at the pump, but it will not damage your car. It's actually better for your engine. Unleaded 88's better for the air, too, because it burns cleaner. So once moms and families and younger drivers and consumers start experiencing those benefits, they're never going to want to go back. Why would anybody pay more for gas when you don't have to, when you know it's better for your car and you see better performance? So we're getting that word out to consumers across the state of Ohio during these busy summer driving months.
And thank you, Gary Puckett, Director of Communications and Industry Engagement for Ohio Corn and Wheat, for the reminder to go get the blue handle.
Thanks, Dale. Well, the site of a former New World screwworm sterile fly facility will soon resume production of this important part of keeping this livestock threat out of the U.S.
A new sterile fly dispersal facility in our country to keep away the threat of New World screwworm,
which would devastate ranchers who raise our cattle, our sheep, our goats, and our horses, especially and obviously if it made its way across the southern border.
Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins announcing the facility near the U.S.-Mexican border to complement existing fly dispersal centers in Mexico and Panama. Besides more Air Force Base being a previous sterile fly dispersal facility to combat NWS decades earlier, the Secretary explained another logistical reason for the site.
The benefit of that is that we're closer to Texas and to the American border. So rather than relying on the flies flying up from way south, they'll come from a lot closer. So it is the dispersal facility. We are working hand in glove with the Mexican government.
I'm Ron Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
The U.S. agricultural trade deficit is widening in 2025, driven by shifting global trade dynamics and rising import demand. The USDA's Outlook for U.S. Agricultural Trade report provides projections for exports and imports, offering insight into current trade trends. From January through April, the United States imported $78.2 billion in agricultural products, while exporting just $58.5 billion. That $19.7 billion deficit is the largest ever recorded for the first 4 months of a year and signals that 2025 deficit could surpass previous records. In fact, the USDA now forecasts the FY 2025 deficit will rise to approximately $49.5 billion, which would mark the largest agricultural trade imbalance on record. The markets, I'll have those coming up next.
Nearly 90% of farmers say that financial worries, constantly changing market conditions, and other uncontrollable variables take a toll on their mental well-being. Add in the weather and family dynamics, well, it's a lot to handle alone. But did you know farmers and their families can receive free confidential services from licensed professionals? Support is available 24/7 to help with the challenges you face. Look for Farm Family Wellness Alliance under the Resources tab at farmfoundation.org. Take care of yourself. Your well-being matters.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
The market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. At the Board of Trade, July corn 4.19 1/4, down 9 1/2. December corn 4.33 3/4, down 7 1/2. July beans 10.58 3/4, down 9 1/4. November beans down 14 cents at 10.46 3/4. July wheat 5.52 3/4, down 15 cents. At the Mercantile Exchange, June cattle 222.30, down 72 cents. July hogs 113.45, up 67 cents. September feeder cattle 302.62, up 40 cents. This is the Ohio AgNet.